Freedom of Information Act. FOIA. Watchdog News Network.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, patriots, freedom nerds, watchdogs, and everybody who's tired of being told to just trust the system, while the system quietly sweeps stuff under the rug. Welcome back to the BZ Watchdog News Network, the channel where transparency comes to life, whether government likes it or not. Now, folks, today's episode is a little different, because for once, I don't have body cam, I don't have dash cam, I don't have cell phone cam, and I don't have surveillance video as of yet. What I do have are police records, parent statements, district silence, and about 17 minutes of audio that tells one hell of a story. See, while I've been posting updates over on Facebook with press releases, pictures, and documentation, the situation has been unfolding behind the scenes, and honestly, it stayed quiet longer than it should have. This happened the morning of December 4th, 2025 at Whitney Elementary School. Funny thing is, I was sitting at the Whitney City Council meeting that very night at 6 p.m. and nobody said a word about what happened earlier that day. Not a syllable, not a whisper, not a peep. Because if they had, trust me, y'all already know that meeting would have gone very differently. Here's what I started hearing. An 8-year-old autistic student, Jaxson, stands for the Pledge of Allegiance. Then he sits back down with his hand over his heart so he can finish eating breakfast, because apparently being hungry at 8 years old is now a public threat to the Republic. According to the preliminary police report, Whitney ISD paraprofessional Shannon Mansfield allegedly made physical contact with Jaxson to make him stand up, took him to the office, and threw away his lunch tray while doing it. Let that sink in. An 8-year-old kid with autism, hand on his heart, eating breakfast, and the solution was to put hands on him? And folks, his mom, Meagan Stewart, wasn't even told right away. She later posted publicly on Facebook about what happened. And that's when the red flags went up, and your boy started making calls. I reached out to Meagan. We talked. The police report was filed. Right now, Acting Chief Sam Hathaway at Whitney PD is handling the investigation. And I have a formal public records request in, which means the full report is coming. And I'll be putting it on the screen the second it lands in my email inbox. And until the cafeteria security footage is released, this 17-minute audio you're about to hear is the most direct look we have into what the school administration told Jaxson and his parents face to face in real time. This is not hearsay. This is not internet drama. This is the actual conversation that took place. But before we roll that audio, you already know the rules. Smash that like button if you think kids deserve to be protected at school. Drop a comment with what you think about adults putting hands on disabled students. Share this everywhere, because silence is what lets this stuff happen. And subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single update when those records and videos drop, because they are coming. All right, folks, no spin, no filter, no protection racket for bad behavior. Let's get into this.
Miss Lisa on the phone. We want to talk with y'all in person. There was a situation this morning, and it was not handled correctly by one of our staff members, and so we just wanted to make y'all aware. But I'll let her.
So I'm Miss Lee, as you know, assistant principal, Miss Martinez principal. So what happened this morning is Jaxson was being escorted from the cafeteria, and one of our staff members was escorting him and escorting him to the cafeteria, from the cafeteria over here, and not in, I guess, just in a manner that he just needed to come to me. And you know how he gets when he gets excited and stuff. And so he was refusing. He went down to the ground. I heard commotion. We were just finishing up announcements. Heard a commotion, yelling. And I went out there and he was yelling, you know, leave me alone, leave me alone. And that's when I said, hey, I got this. I said, hey, Jaxson, go ahead and come with me. I said, let's go ahead and come with me. Let's just find a spot. And he did. He reluctantly at first, and then he came with me, and he came and cooled off here for a little bit in my office. So, we wanted you to be aware of that, like Miss Martinez said, the staff member didn't handle it correctly.
So how did the staff member not handle it correctly? Did she lay hands on my child?
So
She was using her hands to escort him to the office.
So it's like a police report needs to be made then for abuse?
Abuse.
Because I mean, this is a serious thing that I don't play like that.
No, it is new, and that's why we wanted y'all to come in person and talk to you instead of having this conversation over the phone.
Right.
And it certainly was not handled correctly.
Mhm.
Like, I will 100% say that. And on our end, things have already been handled, and it won't be an issue here anymore.
What teacher was it?
That I can't get that information right.
Okay. And so we filed a police report then, because that's where I'd like to take this.
I can't tell you not to.
Mhm.
So if that's what you feel like you need to do.
Yeah, because you guys are given very like limited details. It's just it wasn't handled correctly. Like, how was it not
Right.
handled?
And
correctly? Was she dragging him? Was she pushing
She wasn't
him?
dragging
Did she
him.
hit him?
No, she did not hit him.
No, there was no hitting, slapping, dragging of any sort. She had him from behind and she was escorting him from the cafeteria over here. And one, he's pulling away. She's trying to get him over there. But again, for us and as administration, you don't put hands on a kid.
Yeah, why was he coming in? First place?
My understanding is he explained to me that he didn't want to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And then when he was asked to stand, he got upset. And we have to definitely review everything and, from our end, do like an administrative review. And I apologize for there being such vague details.
Mhm.
But we wanted to make sure that we contacted y'all and reached out to y'all as quickly as possible so that we can get, make y'all aware of it, let you know that the staff member, that has been, will no longer be an issue with that staff member and Jaxson here on campus. And then there is still from an administrative and district standpoint, we need to, look at everything in place. But again, like I said, we wanted to make sure that we let y'all know first and foremost before before the day went any further. Definitely, by the end of the day, there's sense, as a parent, I would want to know as quickly as possible.
Where does the pledge take place at? In
He
the
was-
hallway?
He was eating breakfast in the cafeteria. So the pledge is over the announcements, and so wherever they
At
are in the
breakfast.
hallway, cafeteria, classrooms, wherever is where that.
So he was in trouble for not standing up for the pledge, and then he was manhandled on the way up here.
Well,
Pretty much. I mean, that's what it sounded like.
So my understanding and from what I'm gathering, so they asked him to, he stood up and then he sat back down, asked him to stand again. And then he was interacting with that staff member. You could see where, she was trying to tell him to put his hand on his heart and pointing to the flag. And then he starts walking off and she's trying to talk to him. He's running off. And then that's when she's trying to escort him from the cafeteria over here. And again, he wasn't being dragged. Again, because that's what, as a parent, I would say, well, was he being pulled, dragged, shoved or whatever? He was just, don't worry, he's just being escorted, from behind, and then Jackson's pulling him away and she's trying to get him so he doesn't fall and hurt himself. And there were other students around. So didn't look like he was going to run necessarily, but didn't want to hurt, if he let go, he would have fallen because he was, he had pulled back. So she was escorting them this way. That's kind of what we're looking at right now. So she had mentioned, that this staff member it won't be an issue moving forward, that it's been taken care of on that end.
Is that one of his main teachers? No. So is it just like a teacher aide?
It was just another staff member that had a morning duty in the building. In
Okay.
the cafeteria.
And I'm not able to get the name for a police report?
I don't know. I'm sure if you was the file one, they'll give it to you, and they'll probably end up.
What I can
I
say,
can't go to the police
yeah,
without a name.
unfortunately, at this point, we are not allowed to release the name.
Even though an incident has occurred with my child. Okay, are you able to call Jaxson in here so I can hear it from him as to what happened?
Sure.
He's up at the front with Miss Jellyfish.
He did go to the nurse. He was fine. But she just did a quick check just to make sure like he wasn't hurt or anything. And so
I just don't understand why it would escalate from the pledge like that. I mean, NFL players kneel all the time. I don't know why it's that big of a deal.
Hey,
that
can
wasn't
you
standing. I get it's disrespectful, but it's never that big of a deal to put your hands on a child over the pledge.
and we 100% agree.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So, I mean, it was not handled correctly. Exactly.
Yeah, we don't want to put hands on our children like that. No.
We opened the door because he won't know where he's going.
Chelsea bringing him.
Okay. And honestly, I'm glad you were able to come. I reached out and he said that he tried to get a hold of you too. So when they said Mom's here, I was like, great. You know,
He has my work number. I don't give it just to anybody. So
of course.
for you guys to call him, so you can call the boss.
Come on in.
Depending on severities. Jackson,
Oh, Miss
baby, I'm in here. Mom's in here. Come here.
He's getting his fidget.
You can bring them.
Hey, bud. What happened today?
I was at breakfast and I didn't want to do the pledge because we have to stand. And whenever I stand, my legs start to hurt.
Okay. And then what happened?
I was trying to open the milk we get, but after I did it, it kind of squirted, and she told me to go to, and someone told me to go to the office.
Because the milk made a mess, or because you weren't standing for the pledge?
I wasn't standing. I did stand, but I just opened the milk very aggressively, and she told me to go to the office.
Yeah, so we shouldn't open the milk aggressively, right? Don't take our anger out on things. What happened on the way to the office?
Well, she was trying to get me to the office, but I didn't want it to.
And did the teacher touch you?
Now she tried to force me to get in there,
Was she pulling on you or pushing on you?
pulling,
She was pulling on you. Did she hurt you?
kinda.
What teacher was it?
I don't know.
Okay. Anything else you need to add to it? No. Was it upsetting? You think you should just start standing for the pledge so that you don't have to get pushed to the office over it? Yeah, I think so. I think that'd be the safest route. Okay. Are you okay? What class are you in right now?
I think we're almost gonna switch.
Okay. Have you been in the office since that happened?
What?
Have you been in the office since that happened? Because that was at what, 8 o'clock?
No, it was 7.
Well, I drop you off at 7:45. What time is breakfast over?
7:55.
7:55.
It was after announcements.
It was about 8 o'clock when we did
8
it.
o'clock. Yeah. Okay.
And I told him that I appreciated that when I went out there, and I told him, hey, you know what, let's come to Miss Lee's office, that he did, you know, and
And he will, as long
Yeah.
as no one's, he doesn't like to be touched. I don't know how many times I've had to make that known that he doesn't, we don't use force. We don't.
And we agree with you.
But it's upsetting though.
Yeah, especially with him. The more forceful you are with him, the more
The more
forceful
pushback
he
you're gonna
will
get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the reasons I expressed to him, hey, because I knew he was escalated and agitated. And when I said, you know, hey, just come to Miss Lee's office, and he did, and I let him sit there and just, I have fidgets there, and just kind of let him
Fidget.
play with it. I even asked him, I said, hey, did you finish your breakfast? You know, are you still hungry? I know you didn't get to finish your milk. Do you want some milk? And he said, no, he didn't want milk or another breakfast. And I said, let me know if you do.
I had 2 cookies.
Yeah, I try to drop him off closer to the bell ringing just because in previous school years when we dropped him off early, it just really set a tone for him, having to wait for the day to start. So I dropped him off, closer.
Well, the cafeteria was always loud.
Yeah, Axel, the cafeteria was loud, and he would just go to the backpacks and be upset.
And I had mentioned to him, I gave him a set of
Headphones.
noise canceling headphones. So I told him if he's ever at a place where he doesn't have his headphones with him, to let the teacher know so that I can bring him a pair wherever he's at. But he has a pair of the headphones and the strawberry fidget.
Do those headphones help? You like wearing them?
They're for my ears and they don't really block noise.
Yeah, they're not 100% noise
They
canceling.
squeeze pretty hard.
What?
They squeeze pretty hard.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're trying them out, though. I know Maverick. Yeah, I know they help him. I figured they would help you too.
I mean, it kind of helps.
Yeah, it helps not be able to hear that clicking noise on keyboards and stuff while you're in class. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
he's been responsible. He takes it. When they do the transition, he takes them with him,
Mhm.
and at the end of the day, he brings them back to his shoemaker's class. So I haven't
very good.
I haven't had to track him down, honestly. So
Yeah, I'm surprised.
which is really rare.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Was she pulling you from your wrist or anything? For your arm?
Can you show me how she did it instead? I'll be you, you be her. Here, let's put this down.
She was like pulling me from the arm, like right here.
Which,
squeezing
which
hard?
arm?
Yeah, like this.
Which arm?
This one. There's not a mark on that.
Okay.
Okay. Are you okay?
Oh yeah.
Just upsetting. Not a good way to start the day, huh? Hey, I don't think you're supposed to wear that in school. I gave that to you this morning because your hair was wet.
It's loud.
I let you wear it in my office when you were kind of just chilling out there, but yeah, when we're in the hallway. Just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I can't wear my baseball hat. If I could wear a baseball hat every day, my
Yeah,
trucker hats, I would.
You want me to take it home with me? So you don't lose it? Because I know we've lost it up here a time or two. Alright. You can take that. And where was he? Was he just sitting in here?
He should be. He was here with me, but we should be getting ready for lunch pretty soon.
Lunch. I'm hungry. You hungry?
Kind of.
You're always hungry.
Always hungry. Actually, I know what we're having for lunch.
My pocketbook says otherwise.
What are you having for lunch?
Soft tacos and
Is that what we're
chips.
having today?
I don't know. You did the lunch.
I thought we were having something with chicken. No, aren't we having hot dogs?
No, we're having soft tacos.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. And we were talking about his elf on the shelf with the camo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I said, well,
Santa hasn't sent him yet. And maybe if we can make this week a good week, that I'd write a letter personally to Santa if that elf's not there by Saturday. That's why I'm a little surprised and confused because we've had 2 really good days. And we had that conversation right before you got out of the truck, too, about making sure that you're being good to that elf.
mm-hmm. And I told him one of the things that we're going to work on is when he comes in the morning, because I'm always like, hey, Jack. We're always like, hey, Jaxson. We, give high five. He hadn't done that just yet. I said, but if you at least look at me and I can wink at you, you can let me know you're doing okay.
One day.
He did the little
one
smirk
time.
that he does. I said, we'll get there. We'll
Get a lot
get
of
there.
thumbs up.
Yeah.
Switch it out for a thumbs up, and I bet you get one back.
Okay. You want to do thumbs
We'll try
up?
that.
We'll try the thumbs up next
Can you
time.
give him thumbs up whenever you walk in the door at least?
Probably not.
I think
Probably
he
not.
does it on purpose for you guys.
Yeah.
He had a composure he has to uphold.
That smirk says otherwise. I know you will.
The haircut.
He does.
Okay.
Okay, well, why don't you go hang out in the office out there while we finish up in here? Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Jaxson, you can sit out there instead of my office, just right there in those little chairs. Okay, if you want to get another fidget, you can. They're on my desk.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't know. This doesn't sit well with me. I'm being completely honest. This school year has been terrible for him, and this is upsetting. Very upsetting. I don't know. I am gonna go ahead and take him home though. Just, I don't want to leave him up here anymore. It's like trust is gone, you know? Last year was completely different. You know, ask Miss, she'll tell you Jaxson was 100% a different child last year compared to this year, and I don't know what it is with this school year. You guys can even call him, what, at the intermediate now? I don't understand. I don't. But is there anything else you need from us?
No, we just wanted to have an in-person conversation instead of having this conversation over the phone.
I appreciate that, because he's the one that you have to speak to nowadays, but... Okay, anything you want to add?
No.
Okay. Do you know where Jackson's stuff is? Is it...
I was gonna say, do you know if you brought a backpack? I don't
He did.
remember. Okay. I can go get that first.
It's the,
Now, apparently, according to the Department of Facebook Feelings, if you defend a kid's First Amendment rights, you're attacking educators. No, Becky, we're attacking bad behavior. There's a difference. Because heaven forbid, we question why an 8-year-old autistic child who had his hand over his heart while finishing breakfast got yanked by the arm and his tray thrown away and was physically escorted for not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. But no, we're the problem, not the adults putting their hands on other people's kids, not the school that waited over 2 hours to tell his mother, just the folks like me asking questions. Let's call it what it is. Some of y'all are so brainwashed by bootlicking Kool-Aid, you'd defend anything with a government logo slapped on it. If they touched your kid, it was probably deserved. Just stand up next time and obey. It's disrespectful not to comply. Congratulations. You've officially become the hall monitor of fascism. You'd probably defend a pat down at the lunch line if it was done with a smile and a school polo on. Now, for those who can read and actually care about civil liberties, the Supreme Court decided back in 1943 with the case of West Virginia State Board of Education versus Barnette that students cannot be forced to stand for the pledge. So if NFL players can kneel on national TV and not get tackled to the ground, why is it okay for a Whitney ISD staffer, Shannon Mansfield, to put her hands on an 8-year-old over it? This ain't Nazi Germany. This ain't North Korea. This is America. America. And that kid had every legal right to sit down. So let me ask you something. How would you feel if someone laid hands on your kid because of what they wore, what they said, how they did their hair, or because they wouldn't chant a government slogan? Oh, now it sounds different, doesn't it? Because rights don't only apply to adults. They don't disappear for disabled kids. They don't vanish just because a staffer felt disrespected. The Constitution doesn't say these rights apply to all citizens unless it makes an employee uncomfortable. So here's the real question. What will Whitney ISD do about Shannon Mansfield? Will they bury it under HR doublespeak and pretend it never happened? Or will they stand up and show that public schools don't get to rewrite the Bill of Rights? I'm here to support Meagan Stewart and Jaxson because this was a traumatic, unnecessary, and illegal response to a peaceful act of noncompliance, one that was absolutely protected under the First Amendment. If this makes you uncomfortable, maybe you ask yourself why your loyalty lies with the systems over citizens, with this authority over accountability. You don't have to like what I say, but you do have to respect that I have the right to say it. And Jaxson had the right to sit. Let's see if Whitney ISD does the right thing. Let's see if transparency beats bureaucracy. And while we wait, hold their feet to the fire. Contact info's in the description. Merch, donation links, and memberships are down there too to help keep these investigations alive. Sunlight is still the best disinfectant. To make sure to smash that like button, drop a comment, share this like wildfire, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Facebook. I'm your boy BZ Watchdog, and I'll see you in the next video.
Freedom of Information Act. FOIA.
BZ Watchdog News Network. BZ Watchdog.